Now, the second section of this video, accommodation. Worry not, this video is here to address every little thing that you need to know about accommodation before you come to Palestine. The first thing I'm going to talk about is res. Personally, I've never stayed in res, but yo, I'm not trying to be shady. All respect to everybody who is currently living in res, but I'm gonna say things exactly as they are. I've had a friend who used to stay in res, so I would go and visit her. Personally, I don't think res is a good idea, but if there's a parent who's watching this and they're concerned about their child and you want them to stay in res, let me tell you, maybe you've seen other schools and their res. The reality of res this side is I have seen people within a space of like 4 square meters. Am I exaggerating? I don't know if I'm exaggerating, but what looked like to me, what looked like it was 4 square meters being occupied, literally being occupied by 5 people. Let me try to count for that room that I saw. 1, 2, then there was 3, 4, 5. 5 people. 5 people. There are no stoves within their rooms. There are no bathrooms within the rooms. They're not self-contained like that. It's just a room for you to be able to sleep and also change and relax, I guess. And then the bathroom and the kitchen are outside. Personally, I feel like res is very, extremely cramped. Like, but it's affordable. I'm not really sure. I think it's like what, 3,000 per semester or something. I think it is super packed. It is so packed. I wouldn't recommend. I 1,000,000,000% wouldn't recommend. But for a safe, or should I say a low budget, I think res would do. And the fact that you're within the school gates, I think because of safety, because there are guards by the gate, it's much more safe. I've also heard situations where people were stealing from res. Like, there's so much drama from res. I think personally, if I have a friend who's coming this side, I totally would tell them no res, please, no res. And so staying outside school is actually way better because you get better rooms, better accommodation, better spaces, and more privacy. Now let's talk about accommodation outside res. Where should I start? So your budget is a very great factor on the place you're going to be staying at. The most I've heard, which is even here where I stay, a room for 6. There are some places where they have bunkers, like bunk beds. Where you get like 3 bunkers in one room and then you guys are gonna be 6. Some places have rooms for 4 where you have 2 bunk beds or maybe 4 single beds. Some places have rooms for 3, there's rooms for 2 and rooms for 1. So most of you guys have been asking, where do you stay? How did you get this accommodation? So mainly this side, there's a thing where you get a room from agents. Agent fee nowadays is like 400 kwacha. And with some agents, here's the truth that you need to know. With some agents, this 400 kwacha you pay before you go and see the place. Whether you like the place or not, you will not be refunded your 400 kwacha. So that's just how it is, and that's what most agents do this side. You could try and look for your own accommodation, like walking around, but trust me, that is tiresome. I've never really found accommodation just by walking around and just like searching places. That's unless maybe you see a place that's being built and then maybe you talk to the contractors, the people who've been contracted to build their place, and then they link you with the landlord and then you might get a room. The second thing you need to know about these rooms is not all places are standard. Like when I say standard, not all places have a ceiling. It's very true. Before the school was built here, this was already a ghetto, like I said at the beginning of this video. So because it's a ghetto, some houses, most ghetto houses are not up to like the standard that everybody expects, like the ceiling, the tiles, so painted. Most residents who stayed here turned their homes into students' accommodation in order to make money. And so Some accommodation doesn't have all those things that you expect, like, when you're expecting to go to university outside the country, if you're coming from Zimbabwe or from Namibia or Malawi or wherever you're coming from, sometimes you expect to come here and find, university standard everything, the TikTok standard that we see. It's not the same. Sorry, lovies, I'm here to tell you it's really not the same. So some houses are not painted, some are not tiled, some don't have ceiling, and usually those are on the low end of the prices. And so when you're looking for accommodation, especially if you're doing it through an agent, make sure you let them know your standard before you go and visit any places, before you use your agent money, before you use that agent fee for just going to visit a place, because some agents don't really understand exactly what you're looking for. So you have to mention, like, I want it tiled, I want it painted, and I want a ceiling in that room. Trust me, I never thought in my life I would have to explain to somebody that if I'm looking for accommodation, obviously I expect to find it tiled, painted, like those are basic things. But trust me, you have to let your agent know that you're looking for a space that is tiled, all those things. Another thing is, most accommodations this side do not contain fitted cupboards and fitted wardrobes. So you have to buy yourself one of these. Of which this thing actually expires over time. Just clarify with your agent. Is the toilet inside or is it outside? Is the bathroom inside or is it outside? How is the kitchen? Where is the kitchen? How about the stove? Do they provide the stove? Some accommodations don't provide the stove for you. Some accommodations have bathrooms outside. Hey, let me tell you, this is so embarrassing. I'm just going to say to you guys, for the purposes of actually making this video more informative, I have stayed at a place where the bathroom and the toilet were outside the room. Okay, so you might be thinking that maybe it's a situation where you have your room and then the bathroom is somewhere within the house where you're staying. No, I mean that you have your room inside the house, or you've got your room and then like outside where you have to actually walk outside, that's where the bathroom is. Sometimes you'll be sharing with like 4 other people. So I've stayed at an accommodation where our bathroom was outside. Not only was it outside, it was a bathroom that had its walls, like one of the walls to the bathroom was like the drawer wall, which was its back wall. And then now there was a wall to the side, and one wall was attached to the room that was right next to where the bathroom was built. So it was kind of like there was the drawer wall here and the wall to the room, which is this side, like this. And then there was just 2 metals that were put together to make the other end of this bathroom. It had no ceiling. Mind you, this was during rain season. So when it's raining and I'm bathing, it's like the rain is just showering on me. Hi, we've been through a lot, guys, in life. When you see us, we're not okay. We've been through a lot, we're going through a lot. And it's not the first bathroom I've seen like that. I've even seen a bathroom that had no like roof or ceiling, whatever. And it also didn't really have a door. And I heard the landlord promising something like, oh, we're gonna put the door later, but since you're a boy, because it was a boys' accommodation, but since you're a boy, you could just make do for the meantime. I'm like, so you're gonna be bathing outside? Anyways, so it's like that. Sometimes you've got places that don't have the bathroom inside or the kitchen inside. Sometimes the kitchen is literally like one central place where you share with others. Some places don't provide a stove, so you have to buy your small stove. So these are all the important things that you need to ask your agent, or you need to ask the person who's advertising the accommodation first, before you make the move to pay. One other thing, you must be very careful. Don't just speak to an agent and just send the money. Listen, this is a very common mistake. Don't be so quick to trust. I've been robbed. I was scammed, guys. I was scammed. It hurts, but it happened, and we move on with life. So be careful, know who you're speaking to, ask to see the agent. Don't just get pictures and just think, oh well, then this is legit. Ask, stress on the point, can I see this accommodation first? Sometimes you could be speaking to the landlord. Ask to see their accommodation first before you make any payment. Sometimes they might tell you how I was scammed. I was told, oh, this accommodation is running out, like rooms are finishing, oh, so many people are coming by and they're paying. If you don't pay, you can pay and then you'll come and see later during the day. Trust me, I was scammed. That's exactly how I was scammed. So don't make any payments before you see the accommodation. Actually, meet the person first, pay, and then you go and see. Don't pay where you have not seen somebody, where you have not talked to somebody, like directly. I think I've spoken about this before, but there's a thing called a self-contained room. This side, when you're saying self-contained, it's different. I'm sure some of you have heard about self-contained rooms. Some will say self-contained, like the room where I'm staying. Currently, inside my room, I don't have the kitchen, but they still called it self-contained. So it could be different according to which landlords, and sometimes they use it as a marketing strategy or as a way of advertising and like drawing more people to them. So you might be told that this room is self-contained and yet it doesn't have the kitchen inside. Or sometimes they say it's self-contained and there's the kitchen inside or a cooking area inside and it doesn't have a bathroom inside. So self-contained, when you hear people say it's self-contained this side, they just mean that within your room you can find the bathroom, you can find the toilet inside, bathroom and toilet inside, and also you can be able to cook from inside. Then of course there are places where it's like an apartment, they call them apartments, the side where you have, it's like a house set up and then there are 3 bedrooms. Some have as far as a dining room, an eating area, and a sitting room. Some places have a TV inside. Last I heard of apartments, a 2-bedroom apartment, last I heard it cost 5,000 kwacha, of which most of the times apartments don't come with property inside, meaning you have to get yourself a bed, you have to get yourself a stove, a fridge, if you want a television, if you want a sofa. Most times it's just the house without the property. So also with apartments, make sure you ask and clarify before you just rush into like paying for the place, because they might not have property inside and you have to incur more costs with buying the property. So this point, let me address it because people have been asking me so many times where I stay, how far it is from school. So the thing you have to understand is now, because there are a lot of people this side, it's already so populated, and because this side is more like the medical campus, this is where they like the health sciences are done this side and like medicine is done this side. Besides, those are doing pharmacy, law, and one other program, I'm not sure. I know about pharmacy and law, it's done in Great East. Even those are doing social work at this side. Which other program is there this side? Environmental is this side, or is it at Great East? I'm not really sure, guys. I think another thing that makes it overpopulated is the fact that health programs take longer time. Sometimes people are studying for 5 years, because some people, you get here and you do your NS this side, which is 1 year, and then you do your program. Maybe your degree is like 4 years or your diploma is like 5 years. And so there is a build-up of students because people are still here because they're not yet done. People haven't graduated and gone. So yeah, because of the population, that means most areas that are around and closer to school are already taken. You're most probably not going to find accommodation near the school. If you find accommodation near the school, it's one of these 2 things. It's either you're going to find very expensive accommodation if it's the nice kind, or you're going to be in a room where it's like room for 3, room for 4, because it's much closer to campus. So because of that, most nicer accommodation, most like the luxury accommodation is usually found, let's say 10 minutes away from school. There's a place that they call Unicos Hospital. Unicos Hospital is very far, guys. It's very far. In my opinion, Unicos Hospital is quite far. There are some places of Unicos Hospital that are like a walkable distance, but I have stayed in an area I used to walk for 25 minutes. No joke. I'm not even joking. 25 minutes. And I think I have a fair pace for an average girl. Listen, I would be walking for 25 minutes, which means I had to leave home 1 hour before my classes started. And I would usually get home tired and I would be so far away from most stores, and like I didn't have access to like some things that you find around the school, like Airtel money. If my local stores where I used to stay didn't have Airtel money and some of the things that I needed, then I had to walk 25 more minutes. Like just imagine 25 minutes going to Eden University, going to school in 25 minutes, coming from school. So which means I'll take almost an hour walking. No, man. No. The nicer the accommodation, most of the times, the further away it is from school. And I think the price ranges are usually okay. But yeah, distance is something that you need to really factor in if you're looking for really pretty accommodation. Now where I stay, it's like on a lazy day, it's 10 minutes away from school. Like literally, it's nothing. But on a day where I'm rushing and I'm like rushing to school. Now, the last thing that I'm going to address in this video is the prices. Most rooms, if you're looking for a room for two, you're most probably going to find them going for 1,500 kwacha going upwards. Sometimes you even find rooms for two going for 2,000. 1,500 or 1,200 or 1,000. Fair standard, a tiled room, painted, nicely painted. If you're looking for a room for one, you should budget from at least 1,500. I know people will stay in accommodations where it's room for one and it's 1,500 and the places look really nice. And because most accommodation that's like really nice is found far away from school, you can find, they do factor in that you still have to walk a long distance for you to get to campus. But hear me out. Standard pricing for a room for one, just save up at least 2,000. You could find rooms for 1,500, but most rooms are 2,000. But most probably, if you're going to be staying in a room that is like self-contained, 2,000, 2,500 or 3,000. I've heard of people who are paying for even 3,500, even 4,000 for a room for one. Yes, guys, it's possible. Another thing, rules. Some places have rules, like you can't have visitors within the room. Some landlords don't allow you to have your friend sleeping over, even if it's like a girlfriend. If you're a girl and it's a girlfriend of yours, even if it's your best friend, they might not allow. Some landlords, I've stayed in an accommodation where the landlord didn't allow for your friend to come over, as long as it's not holiday, it's not a public holiday or like a weekend. It wasn't allowed. Some landlords this side want to treat you like a baby. They want to treat you like a little kid. You have them telling you, don't play loud music. You're not allowed to play above this volume. It's not supposed to be heard within the next room. I know literally of a boarding house where they've got security cameras to check if you've come in with your friends. Once they see you, the landlord will literally send somebody to come to your room and tell them to leave. And tell your guests to leave. Like, yeah. So there are all kinds of rules this side which you need to know and which you need to clarify with your landlord before you move in. Anyways, that was it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. If you made it till this far watching this video, please comment down below with the heart emoji. Be sure to stay notified for my next video. Comment down below what content you expect from me. It can be about anything. Feel free to ask me anything. Till my next video. Woo.